and the new world struggles to be born.
So I just came from watching Delicious, a film from 2025 on Netflix. The film, selected in Panorama 2025, had its premiere at the 75th Berlin International Film Festival on 18th Feb 2025, and it landed on Netflix on 7th March 2025. I'm going to have a non-spoiler section, and then later on I'm going to have a spoiler section because I have a lot to say about this film. The story is that the film follows a wealthy German family who hires a young woman as a domestic helper during their summer vacation in Provence, after which the entire family's life gradually changes with dramatic consequences. First off, yes, the film is from Germany, but when I checked like the options for audio on Netflix, it said German English, and I noticed a lot of the characters actually talk in English. So I think it goes both ways. You can listen to it in German and in English, I think. Number two is that the film, there's some subtext the film has. Yes, it's about this rich family going on vacation, but there's some subtext that's going on. The movie starts with this family on the road, and then there's a riot happening. And then the characters are mom, dad, and two kids. During the riot, these kids ask, hey, are they going to be able to come into the car? And I think the dad says something like, the car is bulletproof. So the film goes really out of its way to show you that this is a really wealthy family. So at least kudos to that. The story isn't just saying that they are rich, they are showing you that they are rich. They show you that they are rich by having the mom buy an iPhone, and they show you the son and the dad having road bikes, which I like it when a film shows you something instead of just telling you that they're supposed to be rich. So this domestic helper, she's supposed to be the villain. Now, here's the thing. This is where I'm going to have now to go into spoiler territory to explain the issues with this film. The only intelligent character in this film is the little girl. She's the only one that I liked, and she's probably the most intelligent. The film is trying to show you that rich people don't think. I think that's one of the things that the film is trying to tell you, is that rich people don't think heavily, because what happens is that this family, they come from like a party, the dad was drinking, then when he's on the road, this one girl called Theodora, she plans to pretend that she got hit by their car. But the way the whole thing plays out is so dumb. Any fool could have seen that this was totally staged, because number one, Theodora was on the road in the middle of the night. Why are you alone in the middle of the night? Number two, she gets some cut here from the way she claims that the accident happens. In the character's minds, it's like the dad was driving, he nearly hit this girl, and then the girl ended up somewhere on the road. First of all, he does go to check the car after the accident. If the son says that they hit Theodora with the side mirror, and I'm like, if you really had hit her, wouldn't there be blood on the side mirror? These rich folks did not think through the whole situation. They just saw some girl lying on the road that they nearly hit, and they saw that she's bleeding, and they just went with the story. They didn't think of it carefully. During the vacation, the mom's phone disappears, and the mom is so unbothered. She's just like, whatever, I'll just buy a new one. So the mom is good with like first aid. She notices that Theodora's wound is constantly bleeding. Once she gets the job as their house help, the wound should have healed instead of it just being a mess weeks after. But no, it's still bleeding, and she didn't find this to be a red flag. The mom and the dad are two of the dumbest characters you will ever see. The bro is just this horny teenager, so he's just this underwritten horny teenager, so whatever. It's only the little girl who was like actually like a decent character. Theodora is not manipulative. When the movie tries to be like, she's manipulative, but she's not really manipulative. Or maybe the film is trying to show you that she's not manipulative, it's just the parents that are stupid. Anyway, Theodora is not manipulative. The mom and dad are just dumb. This movie falls into three genres, actually. It's a slow burn. It's a bit slow. Number two, it's sort of like a drama, but it's also sort of like a psychological horror, sort of. The psychological horror is sprinkled a bit. You can definitely tell that the film is trying to be creepy and dark, but I think anyone who has watched enough horrors or psychological thrillers is not really going to be totally blown away by this film. This film really reminds me of the film Parasite. If you've watched Parasite, Parasite is kind of like this film. Parasite came way earlier. Parasite is also about some poor folk who managed to infiltrate the home of some rich folks. But Parasite obviously did that idea much more intelligently and much more creatively. In the end, the title of the film, Delicious, is a reference to cannibalism because later we discover that Theodora and the friends who set up the accident and who have been trying to infiltrate this family, they are cannibals. Which I liked. I liked that because it was set up. There's a part where you see Theodora in the kitchen cutting some meat. She's cutting some meat and she eats it raw. I was like, what the fuck? But that was some good foreshadowing. However, the film, as I said, it's a slow burn. It's quite long. It has a decent story. It's just that I've seen this story done better elsewhere. Out of 10, I think I'd give this movie a 5. Yeah, I think I'd give it a 5. I couldn't wait for it to end. And I think also what I hated is that I didn't know what Theodora's, the house help, I didn't know what her motive was. You only realize what her motive is at the end completely. During the film, in fact, I thought what she was going to do, I thought she was going to like seduce the dad, seduce the son, seduce the daughter, and then like get rid of the mom. And then when they get rid of the mom, now Theodora is going to be like the new mom of the house. I thought that's what was going to happen. So that way she would have escaped the poor life into the rich life. But that's not the way the plot went exactly. The subtext of the film is the rich versus the poor, how the poor have to result into very like malicious man eat man type behavior in this very tough society, especially in this modern times where the economy is just absolutely horrendous. I think that's what the subtext of the film is underneath the whole thing of the vacation and the character drama. Yeah, is that the subtext is about the rich versus the poor. If you've enjoyed this review, make sure to smash like and subscribe. Tell me what you thought of this film if you've watched it. I just found the characters to be very dumb, especially the mom and the dad. On this screen, I'll leave other reviews I've done for Netflix films. I'll see you in the next one.